Welcome back to Arnold Burton's Power Podcast, a podcast of hope. Today we're reading from Genesis chapter 39, verses 1 through 4, about one of my most favorite characters in the Bible, Joseph. At this point in the story, his brothers had sold him into slavery. Verse 1, And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in the sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer of his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. Again, sold by his brothers into slavery. But at the same time, Joseph, thinking of his father and following his father's example, he put his trust in God, made a commitment that no matter what, he would trust him. And because of this, Joseph prospered. Yes, there were challenging times for Joseph. Imprisoned for something that he did not do. Deceived when he did them a great favor and saved their life. But all the time, he continued to trust God. And that phrase went through him throughout his story. He prospered. He did well. He prospered so well that he was respected when he was in Potiphar's house, his master. And the master saw in him a character that made him extremely trustworthy. He was kind, he was respectful. And everything he did seemed to be positive and bring a reward, not only for himself, but for Potiphar. So, because of that, he was respected so much by Potiphar that Potiphar put him in charge of his household. Can you imagine that? From slavery to in charge of the household. But that was just the beginning of the story. Throughout Joseph's story, God stayed with him and he prospered. When you honor God, he honors you, no matter what the situation. Long run, long end of the story, you will prosper. That's another level of hope. Hope for today and hope for tomorrow.